Hello and welcome to my channel. Remember when I said I'm reeling out every Thursday? Yeah, I lied. Alright then, moving on. And I would like to start off by saying that most of 1917, contrary to popular belief, is not a long take, but is a combination of sequence shots instead. More about that in a minute. To put this into perspective, I quote from the book To Cut or Not to Cut. In terms of classical film analogy, there are two types of extended durational shots: sequence shot and a long take. The first describes the camera that moves through various planes of action, follows the trajectories of different actors, and might perform a series of panning or tracking maneuvers with the aim of integrating, within the space of one extended single take, the narrative events usually comprised in an entire filmic sequence. The latter involves a prolonged and unedited capturing of pro-filmic events. Not every long take is a sequence shot, but almost every sequence shot involves a take longer than a film's average shot length. Whereas the sequence shot is a term conceptualizing structures of visual storytelling, the notion of the long take is meant primarily to explain cinema's modulation of temporal passage. Sequence shots serve as historical landmarks of how to package as much action as possible into one spectacular shot without causing viewers to lose sight of narrative exigencies. The notion of the sequence shot thus describes an objective and clearly identifiable building block of narrative cinema. But by the end of each film, we may not think of what we saw as pertaining to the realm of long at all, simply because not a single minute of their films probed the viewer's patience and temporal commitment. Temporality is a state of existing within, or having a relationship with time and its passing. To put it simply, a long take is one that has a temporality associated with the shot, with either the use of multiple timelines within the shot, or time compression, or shots that are subjective enough for a long duration so as to make us a viewer in the picture of what's on screen as well as off screen, and or if a shot is extended for a long duration with enough duress and information to sustain a viewer that we lose the perception of real time with respect to cinematic time. A long take, therefore, aims to place us in the exact moment in the present sense whilst being an unbiased, unobstructed medium, which helps us empathize and experience everything in first person. It makes us a bystander instead of a viewer. A sequence shot, on the other hand, has no sense of temporality, but is just bits of information pieced together in a rather long, durational shot. To take up another famous example, only a few shots in Birdman are long takes, such as the one with the drummer in the frame, etc., where it truly breaks the veil of what's real and what isn't. Most of the others are sequence shots with information, such as him moving from one location to another. And what's interesting is, some shots operate in the grey area, which may be classified as a long take for you, but not for me, due to my own perception of temporality and suspended sense of time with respect to space. The long take, in Pasolini's view, belongs first and foremost to the primordial realm of the cinematic. It designates cinema's inherent ability as a medium to record the pure unfolding of reality in real time, and hence to reproduce the real as it happens in the present sense. Alright then, until next Thursday. Just kidding.
Did you get any of that?